Welcome back to the JDW Sports Talk Show. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Seattle Seahawks versus the Indianapolis Colts, game that is set for Week 1 in Indianapolis. Home opener for Indianapolis. The Seahawks coming all the way from Seattle down to Indianapolis. Now, I'm going to preview this game and give you my first thoughts on it. This is my way too early Week 1 prediction, I guess you could call it. So, Russell Wilson versus Carson Wentz for the first time in a Colts uniform is Carson Wentz, obviously. So, who has the advantage? I think the Colts have an advantage right away. Colts have a much better roster than the Seahawks do. Yeah, the Seahawks have a lot of playmakers. They have a few playmakers. Metcalf, Lockett, Russ, Carson. That's on offense. And then you go to defense. You have Adams and Wagner. So I have those two, not really much. You go to the Colts side of the ball, they might not have 5 big names like that. They may not. But they have a much better, well-rounded roster than the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks don't have an offensive line for Chris Carson to run with. They don't have an offensive line to protect their guy from DeForest Buckner and Kwity Paye. And Big Grove, Tyquan Lewis, come up with Toure. They don't have a line to protect him from them. Are you kidding me? And, yeah, the receivers are scary. But they're down, Metcalf has more of a down threat, deep threat. But Lockett is one of the best route runners in the league. One of the most underrated receivers in the league. So don't forget about him. Tight ends don't really scare me. Will Dissly, they don't really scare me. The Seahawks team doesn't really scare me at all. Besides the receivers and the quarterback, doesn't scare me. And then you go on the defensive side of the ball. What do they have there outside of Wagner and Adams? Not much. What do the Colts have? The Colts have one of the better defenses in the league, and one of the most well-rounded defenses in the league. Xavier Rhodes, Kenny Moore, Rocky Sin. I know he has had his fair share of bad moments. He's also had his fair share of really good moments. You have Isaiah Rodgers, who may step in and make a big difference. You have Marvell Tell, TJ Carey. Then go to the safeties. Blackman, Sean Davis. 2 Sean Davises. Curry Willis. Go to linebackers. You have Okereke and Leonard. Go to the defensive line, which is going to be enough to, really overpower that Seahawks offensive line. DeForest Buckner, Paye, Toure, The Seahawks team is not a well-put-together team. Yeah, they have a few playmakers here and there, but you need a little more than that. You need a well-rounded team. And then you go back to the offensive side of the ball. Look at the Colts. Offensive line, one of the best in the league. Running backs, some of the best in the league. Wide receivers, not as good as the Seahawks receivers, but they're still really solid. And young, with a ton of potential. So, this Colts team is much more well-built. Now, even if Carson Wentz doesn't have a crazy Week 1, the Colts will be able to run it down the Seahawks' throats. Call it now. It's going to be 200 rushing yard game. 200 yards rushing between Taylor, between Mack, between Hines and Wilkins. Maybe Wentz gets a few there, here and there. Watch out. Maybe even Pittman gets a few here and there. I think this is a game that we win. We match up well versus the Seahawks. We have a much better roster. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you Colts fans think. That's going to be it for this video. And as always, I will catch you next time.